Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Join Terry with Tracer Rounds every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern to hear interviews with veteran artists, veteran business owners, and businesses that support veterans. Catch us on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and MB Radio. If you miss a show, you can listen again on Wreaths Across America Radio every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Tune in to see if you are on target. MBR, giving veterans a voice.
Welcome back to the Tracer Rounds show, and this is Terry, your host, and with me tonight is Mark Casper, who is the CEO of Tech for Troops. So welcome, Mark.
Thank you, Terry. Thanks for having me. And I got to say, that was the best intro ever. Right? I'm ready to go back in the Marine Corps, just saying. Let's go.
Right, to get you spun up. You're like, yes.
I'm spun up. Who's going to sleep tonight? Why? Let's do it.
Right? I hear you. Like, I watch it and I'm like, man, I wish I wasn't retired about now. So tell us a little bit about your military service, if you don't mind. I know you're a Marine Corps veteran. So Can you talk to us a little bit about maybe what your specialty was, and then how many years, and maybe if you were deployed, where you're deployed, or just anything you want to tell us or share about that?
You bet. So, I mean, I came into the Marine Corps in a sort of a weird way. Most people don't have this kind of story. I was a young man full of vim and vinegar back when I was, high school coming out. And it was a Friday night. My mom came into my doorway and said, and I was laying in bed, just sort of like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not out partying right now. What's going on with my life? I'm dying, right? I'm not right. And she's like, why don't you join the Marine Corps, do something with your life? And I was like, oh, okay. And literally joined the Marine Corps. So that was in '83. I wanted to be aircraft. Work on airplanes, the jets and stuff, and the Marine Corps in its infinite wisdom made me a Hawk missile technician, 5922.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that was not a thing that I really thought of. And we didn't deploy anywhere, but the only thing that Hawk missiles ever did or ever went was to Norway for cold weather training, and I just happened to be at the perfect time where my company didn't go, and so I went to Vegas, I went to Lejeune, I went to Yuma, Arizona, and that's really about it. So I got in '83, got out in '87. I had my corporal. I was at E3 when I got out. I had my corporal. I was approved, or I was going to get promoted, but they're like, yeah, no, unless you stay in, you don't get them. And I'm like, yeah, no, not staying in. So, I mean, that was literally my Marine Corps career was that time frame of, spending time at Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas to be trained, and then being at Cherry Point, North Carolina. So not a whole lot to it.
Well, so moms don't usually, they're not usually the ones that say, hey, why don't you go join the service? So were you surprised when mom said that?
Just a little bit, just a little bit. But she was right. Moms are normally right, and she was absolutely right that I was not in a great place as a 17-year-old, and that I needed to do something with my life, and I wasn't gonna make it. Right, it was gonna be fine, but I wasn't gonna be successful in life if I kept going down the path I was going down. So
That
she
makes
was
sense.
she was spot on.
So what did you do after the Marine Corps? What job, specialty, or
Oh, you bet.
what did you decide to do?
Yeah, so I mean, I like a lot of younger Marines. I got married in the Marine Corps, 1985. We just celebrated our 40th anniversary, which is
Congratulations.
amazing. Yeah, no, I have a phenomenal wife, a soulmate that helps keep me in line, help keep her in line a little bit. But it's just one of those things where I have been blessed in that regard with two daughters and grandkids and all that kind of stuff now because I'm old. Um, and then when I got out, I thought, I'm a Marine. Everybody's gonna love me, they're gonna want me, they're gonna take me, and they're gonna like, hey, you're gonna be, senior management, blah blah, all that kind of stuff. And come to find out, nobody gives a rip once you get out.
Yeah.
And I call it twisting in the wind. I had to find my way. So got out, had kids, was working, and then I really looked at my daughters, my two daughters, which were very young. They were one in or 2 years old, 4 years old type of thing. And I'm like, I'm not going to be successful in life unless I get a college degree. So I did, and I finished that in '97, and then I started my corporate, climb to do better, make more money, provide more for my family, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I did well. I'm very proud of what I accomplished in my life in that way. But on December 17th of 2015, I was invited to go to Tech for Troops. It was already formed. It had been around for about a year, a little less.
Wow.
And when I walked in the door, uh, I knew I was home. I knew that this is where I was supposed to be for the rest of my life.
Because you made the career field of information management or IT, right? I mean, you
Correct.
kind of started down that path, and is that what you went to school for, or did that come later?
That came later. So I
Yeah.
actually went to school for marketing,
Oh,
and I wish I had been smart enough back then. Back in the '90s, marketing is not what marketing is today,
true.
and the social media piece, that digital marketing, is not anything I ever saw coming. Because we had internet in school when I was there, but it was 28.8 modem, and not thinking ahead and not being prescient, I didn't think that it would become a force.
Yeah.
So I got out of that and I went into IT. Um, and then I became project manager, was working, worked a program or a project with England and California and Arizona and other places for Capital One. Was successful, and then I left Capital One and I went to Northrop Grumman. Well, a small, yeah, Northrop Grumman, and that just, I mean, it was a great learning experience, but it just totally toasted me.
Yeah.
It was a 7 day a week, 24-hour day job.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and I'll never forget. I went to my boss and we were taking vacation. We were going to the Caymans. And the reason why I wanted to go to the Caymans was because I couldn't take my BlackBerry with me.
Oh,
And
there
he's
you
like, well, you can't stay in touch if you can't take your BlackBerry with you. I'm like, yeah, I know.
go.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's the point.
that's the point. So I spent 7 blissful days of not hearing the thing go off and answering emails at 2 o'clock in the morning, type of thing.
Yeah.
So I was high enough up in the company to where I was senior, but I wasn't the boss. And yeah, that journey was amazing, and I learned so much.
Yeah. And you worked for the VA too,
I worked as a contractor for the VA, so I was with
contractor.
a contract company, worked for the VA. I did called capital planning, so I tracked the money that the VA spent,
Oh,
which was
okay.
years ago, and that's a whole nother off the record conversation
Yeah,
for the VA. It's
for sure.
it I think the VA is a great organization. I think that they could probably make some processes better. I'll say it that way.
Yeah, I think just about any government agency could use some, like clean slate, and let's look at processes, and then I think,
Absolutely.
be more maybe more resourceful with some of their funding and whatnot. So I
I
agree.
agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree.
So then you came to Tech for Troops and you
Yep.
started as the CEO. And I noticed that you do training. Do you do it only there or at the headquarters, or do you do it online? How
So
does that training work for veterans?
yeah, so there's two different parts of what you just asked.
Okay.
Yeah, I came to Tech for Troops, and I'll give the brief history. The founder
Yeah.
and I, working my butt off. I was the executive director. And then she came to me a couple of months after I was hired and like, hey, we're about to shut down because we have no money. And I'm like, no, we're not. This is where I belong. This is what I'm supposed to do. So went through it. I took it over in October of 16, and in January of 17, we just took off like a rocket. And we're still on a
Wow.
rocket, right? We're still going, making it. Um, uh, January of 17 is the reason why the rocket took off is we received a truckload, a tractor trailer truckload of laptops, 3,000.
Oh, wow.
Came out of the blue from an organization, heard about us, wanted to support us, and I'm literally like driving the forklift and wondering what happened here because I didn't know it was coming. Like
Mm,
literally didn't know. It was so cool.
that
And my
is.
little space of 1,200 square feet was just to the rafters with laptops, and so
That's awesome.
that started the whole trajectory of up. And we're handing out laptops like crazy to vets in the Richmond area, right? I'm refurbishing them, putting hard drives in them, making a RAM good. I had one other employee, so it was just me and one
Mhm.
other doing all of this work.
Wow.
And my wife and my daughters were like, Dad, you can't keep this up. You have to do something other than hand out laptops for free because nobody's gonna support you with that. It's just that's not a thing that people are gonna get behind. You got to
Mm.
start education. So that's where the education piece started. And
Okay.
so there's two different parts to that. One is if you're in the Richmond area, and we have five other locations now. So Petersburg, Virginia, Newport News, Virginia. We're in Washington D.C. at Catholic University and Shenandoah University. We go up there, and then one, two, three, yeah, and then Richmond, and at times we go to Charlottesville to do training as well. The
Wow.
vets come in, they get a free computer, they learn how to use it. We teach them if they're versed in a computer. I don't really worry about trying to teach them anything because they probably know more than I do. But if they don't know, and we do have vets come in who don't know how to hold a mouse and they don't know how to turn it on, um, and they're not sure what Wi-Fi is, but they know they want a computer to get in touch with their buddies or get on Facebook or whatever it is, that thing that they want to do a telehealth for VA.
Right.
COVID brought that to the attention. We teach all of that. Plus, we teach financial literacy as well as personal cybersecurity. And then we also have some AI that we train people on because AI is it. I mean, you really should. If you don't know AI today, you really need to start boning up on it. So
Mm.
all of that has been taking effect, and we're doing a really good job at that. Last year, we helped over 1,200 veterans, about 375 in Richmond area alone or Virginia. We also have a partnership with the Department of Veteran Services, which is a local state um, administration, state organization, the administration, and we provided 400 laptops to veterans going to community college
Oh,
across the
wow.
state. So we do those things as well, right? We're helping out as much as we can. So when you talk about the education piece, I've been to Texas. Actually went to Dallas for 100 laptops for 100 vets, and Toyota sponsored us in that. I went to New
Mm.
York, did the same thing there. It wasn't 100, it was 50, I believe. US Bank sponsored us 100 laptops, 100 vets in Milwaukee. West Virginia, I've been to numerous times up at one of the VAs up there, giving computers away. Northern Virginia, right? So that educational piece can be brought out into the country from Richmond. I drove to Wisconsin. I flew to Dallas or Fort
Wow.
Worth, right? So
Yeah.
that can be done, and we teach vets how to use computers. The other part of that is as we're teaching these vets all of this stuff, we get a lot of questions. Hey, can you teach me A plus and Security plus and cybersecurity so I can get a better job? Well, truly, that takes a lot of money. You have to hire an educator that knows what they're doing, that can teach you over say a 6-week period because it's going to be nighttime type classes. We can't do it all day long. It would be
Yeah.
nice if we had that kind of facility, but we don't. So do that, and hiring an educator is doggone expensive. I mean, especially taking somebody's nights away from them. So we've
Mm.
never gotten into that, but we provide 10,000 free classes to veterans online.
Oh,
which
wow.
includes A+, Security Plus, Python, how to be an entrepreneur, business leadership, yoga, OSHA. I mean, it runs the gamut from you name it to you name it. Whatever you want to talk about, you can probably find it in our training. So we provide that because we know that there's going to be a lot of vets who get a computer and they're going to say, well, I can't afford community college or I can't afford to go to university. I need to do something. And we tell them with the setup paperwork that we send, here's your access to classes. And we've had 12,000 classes taken so far in the last 3 years, which is amazing.
Wow, that is
Yep.
amazing.
Yep.
Wow.
So, I mean, education goes both ways, in person and online.
So do you mostly have big corporate sponsors that give you computers, or do you look to individuals to give computers to be, repurposed for this program? How do you typically get, I know you said that you've done some events and then big sponsors have given 100 or 50 laptops, but those are, for as many as that you give, there's got to be more that are being given to you. And so how are you getting those donations, and would somebody repurpose a laptop, give you one to repurpose?
Right. So phenomenally and very happily, we have some large corporate donors, but we also have a lot of individuals who come to our door. So we have a donation door, and they ring the doorbell, and we actually come out and we get them out of their cars for them. We'll have a truckload pull up, whether it's a box truck or a pickup truck, and we'll unload whatever they have. So we take just about everything. There are things we don't like to take, like printers. Printers are the bane of society because they're just a large piece of plastic. And once you run out of ink, it's cheaper buying a new printer than it is to buy the ink.
True
story. Yes. So, but we get that, and we get in the flat screens, the 65-inch, and they're like, oh, it works, I promise, because we'll charge them for those kinds of things because we have to pay to get rid of, keep it out of the landfill.
Right.
And so, but then when we boot up the 65-inch, if they're not standing right there, it's like, there's a big line across the middle. It booted up, but thank you so much, nobody wants this thing. So we're stuck with paying for it to be recycled. That's fine. It happens. That's part of business.
Yeah.
But people give us their laptops, we triage them. So we look at them and say, all right, this is recycling. And last year we kept out of the landfill about 800,000 pounds out of the landfill of IT equipment.
Wow.
So it's a significant amount. And it's because donors come to the door and give us a lot of stuff, whether they're shipped in by a tractor trailer, which we get that as well, or box trucks or pickup trucks or the back of their car. I had a young man yesterday, we were closed because of the snow, but I was at work because I'm at work, even though nobody else was there besides me. And a young man came to the door and he handed me a cell phone that he reset, so it was like brand new. And he's like, here you go, I don't need it anymore. And okay, we'll take that, appreciate it. So we get that kind of thing, and larger pickups. So we'll triage it. We'll make sure it's good enough for a vet. We'll make sure it get Windows 11. I don't remember what the specs are, but it's like 16 gigs of RAM, a 256 gig hard drive, working camera, USBs work. Our biggest pain point on giving out vets laptops are the batteries. We get used equipment, and folks are like, well, I expect it to last for 3 hours. Well, that's a brand new battery. That's, whatever that is, we're getting it used. I can't go out and spend $50, $100 for a battery to put in a computer I'm going to give away. So we're always very open about, hey, we want it at 50%, but it might not stay at 50%. Right? It's just it's a battery. So if you need one, please go buy one yourself. And most are okay. Others come back and they're not so okay with it, but that's okay. That's part of business again.
Right.
You have it. So we triage it to make sure it's good enough for the vets, and then the other ones we'll recycle or do something else with.
Well, we need to take a quick break. And so when we come back, we'll talk some more about that site, about where you purchase some things, because that must help you too. So we'll talk about that when we come back. But we're going to play right now. We're going to play Dallas Alexander, Adios Amigo. And then we'll be right back with Mark Casper.
There's a hotel window, many floors above. What's missing down there is love. Thinking through the smoke that fills my mind. Don't worry, it's not my first time. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. They say it's all inside, heaven and hell. What happened to that angel when he fell? Give it just one try. Tell me you don't like it. Be God for a moment and don't despise it. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Step outside and breathe. Play a little in the street. Hope it's not me they're sending. Move on from over there. Give the kids a little scare. Oh, these fences, they need mending. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
And welcome back to Military Broadcast Radio, the Tracer Round Show. And with me tonight is Mark Casper, and he is the CEO of Tech for Troops. And we were talking about the different things that you get from people, and you're selling them. And so does it help you to sell them? I noticed you had an eBay site. So does it help when people buy things so then you can maybe afford some other things that you need for business and for supporting troops?
Absolutely does. It helps fund all the programs that we have, right? So the educational program, the refurbishing program that we have, as well as keeping the lights on. So we have to we hire veterans, not always all veterans, but we hire vets. One of my vets said he has just he's a star, right? He's a rocket going up. I call him my brother. He's you can tell him a little, I'm 6'2" I'm a white guy. He's a little shorter and a little black man, right? But he's 8 days older than me, and I call him my brother because he is a brother, right? He's a veteran. And he ran into some troubles in his life, and I looked at him and said, no, you're not going anywhere. I want you here with me. And he is just taken off and loves what he does. So I'll hire vets. Most of the time, what I want to do is teach them the IT skills that they need to get a better job, because with AI coming or on the way, or it's really here, hands-on experience is what's going to put you above and over other applicants that don't have hands-on experience. So we
Right.
do that and make sure that they get those hands-on skills, and they understand the language of IT and not just talk about it. They have to understand it before they leave us. So we've been very successful in placing vets in other locations. One is up at the Pentagon now.
Oh, wow.
He started as a contractor. Now he's a full-time employee. He's a GS 13 or 14. I don't
Oh,
remember
good
which.
for him. That's
He's
awesome.
doing well, and he was not doing well when I met him, right?
Yeah.
But now he is. And there was another one who was living in his car when we hired him, and he is down at the NOC, the Network Operations Center at Fort Lee. So
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, and there's others that I can talk about, but I mean, those two are the ones that stand out, that we help out. We make sure that they get the good training, and then we send them on their merry way, because I don't want vets working for me at $20 an hour when they can make $60 an hour. I don't
Right.
want to,
Yeah.
I want them to go out and get a better life, support for their families.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, because IT really is the field of the future, I think, because of AI and
Still,
because of all those things. And so if you don't have some skill sets that are tied to IT in some way, be it working actually in the field, but if you don't have some computer skills in general,
oh yeah,
you're getting left behind. So I agree that this is
yep.
really an area of focus that veterans that don't have any of those skills really need.
Absolutely agree with that. And it doesn't have to be in-depth skills, right? If you IT skills as well, in my book, it might not be in others' books. If you're become an expert in, say, Excel or Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and you can make good decisions and use those tools to the best of their ability, then you're going to have a job. Now, AI's come in, AI is going to have a huge impact on that kind of thing, but it's still going to take humans to
Yeah.
make it dance, because AI can't make it dance. You can make it dance. So that's part of that 10,000 classes that we offer, is Microsoft to the professional level, right? You want to take that up
Yeah.
to the highest level, get that certification. That'll look really good on your resume.
Definitely. So how would somebody get engaged with your platform? What's their first step? What would they need to do in order to like get a computer or to see
Mhm.
if they qualify for a computer and then get involved with training, or if they're in your area, what do they need to do?
Yeah. So everything goes through our webpage, www.techfortroops.org. And there's an online form to fill out. We go by at this moment. So one of my ultimate goals is to have a corporate sponsor, long-term corporate sponsor, not just a one-time, hey, here's $50,000, which is great, not getting wrong with
Right.
that. But I want somebody to say, hey, here's a long-term, and every vet that applies, there will be skin in the game. All right.
Yeah.
Because if I send you a $150, $300, $500 computer, then you go out pawn it off for $50, you just lost out. And
Yeah.
I'll never know you pawned it off. But if you pay $100 for a computer and you get a $300 computer, $500 computer in your hands, and you use that to your better ability, then it works for both of us. I feel good, you feel better, and that's what it's
Right.
all about. So I'm looking for a long-term corporate sponsor that will sponsor us to give away free computers. Free meaning you have to have shipping, you have to pay skin in the game, but much lower cost than what we have to charge, because we have to pay our employees, we pay rent. Um, we just bought 500 chargers for computers, so power cords.
Yeah. Those
I
are
had to buy
expensive.
expensive as crap. Yeah, so I mean, we just bought 500 of them,
Yeah.
because and that costs a lot of money to do those things.
Mhm.
So I
It
mean,
truly
how
does.
they do is they go through our webpage. We have a form to fill out. We do request financial where your situation is, whether you're receiving WIC or whether you're on food stamps, whatever that thing is that you need help with, and then we will adjust down accordingly. So if I'll use this average of say $100 for a computer, and we see that you're below the poverty line, we'll take $20-$30 off of that, and the computer's going to cost somewhere between $70 and $80 total.
Yeah.
And if you're making 100 $70,000 a year, you can afford more, and we're going to ask you to pay $300 for a computer. We're going to get you a quality computer either way, but we want you to pay what would be commensurate with what you can afford. And we have a lot of vets who make good money, and they'll get a computer from us, and they'll pay $350 for a computer. They could have gone to Best Buy and got a computer for probably a little less, but they also know what we're doing and they can afford it. And then there's the others who can't, and we support them to the best of our ability.
Yeah, that really is a way to help, is to purchase items off your website, and then you get a quality computer, and then you're helping veterans. You're helping that platform. So that makes perfect sense. So in those programs, do you have people that just hang around long term? Because you say you have 1,200 training courses. So
there's 10,000.
10,000. I'm sorry, 10,000. I forgot a zero. 10,000, and I added a little bit too.
There you go. That's all right.
But so, do people like stay around, or like do they engage with you, or like once a veteran gets a computer, is there any kind of like follow up? Is there someone that's checking on them to see what's going on if they're distant, that they're not in the local area where you have a hard facility? Is there some kind of like check-in, or do they communicate with you in some way?
Yep. So we do, and we're actually changing our process. We talked about it today for the new year. One of my folks is going to be doing that follow up with the vet across the United States, making phone calls, checking up. Have you registered yet? What classes are you taking? Are there any issues? Do you have any problems? You forget your password, those kinds of things. We're going to be doing that for the classes and for the computer itself. Do you still have it? Is it okay? Is it working? So want to do the customer service piece, but we're at somewhere close to 5,000 classes in the last 10 years, or not classes, computers out to vets in the last 10 years. So making those phone calls is going to cost a lot, or take a lot of time.
Yeah, a lot of time.
A long time. So we're going to go by, really, we're going to start from the new year on. The folks maybe December, November from this year on, making those phone calls, because we can't go back and call everyone. We'd love to be able to, but some people stay around and they keep coming back. Others, we'll never hear from them again. And that's okay. As long as they're using it to better themselves, for themselves or their families, if they're married, please do. I want to know what you're doing and how you're doing it.
And I noticed too that you have an agreement with a VFW for gaming, and then you have a gaming platform. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So being on a military podcast here, we know the number of veterans who commit suicide. And I use a range because it usually is a range. And this time of year, it's going to get much higher. So it's 17 to around 40 in the Christmas time. 17 to 22 is the average. And I don't like that, because it's just diminishes the people who are doing what I call is the unthinkable. So we have Game Core aiming for 0. 0 is the only number to talk about, right? Because we got to get it down for our brothers and sisters. It's not so dark that there's not somebody's going to listen to you and talk to you and help you in some way, shape, or form, because we're all there for you. You just don't, you're not asking. And we want you to ask. So Game Core has been around for 2.5, going on about 2.5 years now, and we have impacted or saved 29 lives, which is amazing. So the VFW, we're in their post 6364 here in Richmond. We're actually in a mental health institution down south of us. We put a gaming bunker, which is what we call them, in a mental health institution, and we're talking to the state of Virginia. VFW state of Virginia, to put bunkers across the state, and then we're going to go national with that. And it's not just give you games to go play and that's it. It's give you games. Your vets are going to come in and use it, but become part of our mentorship team. Become part of our team that's going to say, "Yo, brother, you okay? Don't do that, right? Let's talk. Come on." We'll go have a conversation. And I know that my game master, his name's Jason, he's the one who's running this, has been up for hours, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, Sundays, Saturdays, talking to folks and off the ledge, because we'll call them 911, option 1, not 911, 988, excuse me, option 1 for veterans. And then we'll follow back up with them to say, "Hey, are you okay?" And then there's guys who literally haven't left their homes, as you well know, for weeks or months at a time, and we're talking to them about taking showers and just, hey, just wash the dishes, man. That's a good first step. Things like that. So we follow up with that, and it's a very personable, empathetic, and good feeling to know that you're having an impact on people's lives like this.
Absolutely. Because like you said, a lot of veterans that come back from overseas and, they served a tour or two and they just don't like to be out in public. They like to
Hmm.
keep to themselves. They don't want to engage with
Yep.
anything that's going on in the community, really. They find crowds a problem. So they tend to stay inside and stay to themselves. And
Yep.
so, a way to reach them is through gaming or through these online platforms where they can engage with other veterans
Yep.
and really when you hear another veteran say something that you remember from the service, it just it cheers you up. I think it really
It
brings
does.
back that sense of community. And
Yep.
so having somebody there to talk with that understands your language, that understands what you've been through, that really can talk the talk when it comes to military service, it really
Yep.
does help. And so what you're doing is very important because
Thank
without
you.
that, like you
Thank you.
said, some lives might not some people may not be here still to celebrate another Christmas or another Thanksgiving
Absolutely.
or another New Year's.
Yep.
So it's that work is so important, and
It
engaging
is.
in that platform is such a good way to do it, I think.
Yeah, and I think we're doing it the right way, right? So we're not
Yeah,
about the numbers, and yes, lives saved, important, but it's
yeah,
not about the numbers of how many people are following Twitch, how many people are following Discord, how many people attend events. It's not about that. It's not about us. And really, Jason and I talk about this, so I'm not blowing smoke. It's not about us. It's about you and how we can help you, because without that, we might as well shut our doors and just go back to doing, handing out laptops.
yeah. Yeah. So our president, our CEO, Joel, is on, and he says, "Thank you for what you do."
You got it, Joel. There you go. I'll give you a Marine Corps salute.
Let's see. He says, also, you sound like Liam Neeson. Just saying.
He's got a lot more money, I'm telling you. He's got a lot more money.
Oh my goodness.
He does
So,
cool things with guns when he's out there that really you can't do with guns, but he does cool things with guns.
well, it's the movies. They can do anything they want. They can make
Exactly.
they
And
can make it work any way they need.
yeah, he's never blown off a finger or toe. It's like, how'd you do that? Oh, okay.
Right. Definitely. So what else do you need for us to know about this, or how can we support, or how can people get involved in the area that they are to like bring the gaming to their state, or to bring maybe a tech for troops like group? I would say a group, like a group of
Yeah.
veterans that maybe have gotten computers, and maybe they can collaborate on doing online training and really, engage each other in that platform and support one another. How would that work, and how could someone be supportive in that effort?
I've never thought about trying to get a group of vets together to take classes together. That's a phenomenal thought. I will, and tomorrow when I'm talking to folks at work, I will bring that up and say, how do we make that happen? Is it through Discord or Twitch, whichever? I'm not a gamer, so I don't know. I know Twitch is for video games, so
Right.
but yes, Discord. But how do we do that and then set it up to where vets are coming in and learning from each other while they're online? I love that idea, Terry. That's phenomenal. Absolutely. So I think how we can be helped is if you and your company or you at home have computers that you need to get rid of, guaranteed data destruction, because we do that. We have hard drive shredders. We have a wiping software that's HIPAA and DOW, Department of War certified. So we guarantee data destruction. We have companies sending their stuff in, but I'll be honest with you, it's somewhere close between 30 and 40% of the computers we get in are worthy of a vet. So if you have 100, we're recycling or doing something with 60 to 70% of them, 60 to 70.
Mhm.
And the reason why is we get a lot of older tech in, a lot
Yeah.
of old tech that I'm not willing to give out to a vet.
Yeah.
Sure, I could send it out. It's probably almost okay, but I'm not going to send that out to my brothers and sisters so they get a piece of crap. and they're going, well, why would you send this to me? If they know what it is, right? Well, how old it is. So we only give out the good stuff to them. If your company needs to find a place to do some data destruction as well as tax credit, because we're a nonprofit, get your tax credit for your equipment, please contact us. Contact us on our webpage, contact us forum, let us know that you're looking to donate computers. If you're an individual and at home and you have, hey, I got 3 laptops in my closet, which I don't know what to do with, we have what's called Give Back Box on our webpage. You look for one of the drop downs and it'll say Give Back Box, and I might be wrong on the weight, but I believe it's $25 and it's about 25 pounds you can send through UPS.
Oh, wow.
And we'll get that. What I ask everybody though is please put your name and address in it, because it's not going to have it on the label. It actually comes from Give Back Box itself to Tech for Troops. So if you would please put your name and address in, we'd love to send you a thank you note.
Oh, that's
so there's
awesome.
multiple ways.
Yeah. I think we need to take another quick break, but we'll come back and then we'll kind of wrap up just more about the company and more about how veterans are engaging with it.
And if you keep playing this music and these videos, I'm rejoining. I'm just saying that Adios Amigo is phenomenal.
Yeah. Dallas Alexander is a Canadian Special Forces soldier. He's retired and now he's a country singer living in Tennessee. But he was in some of those. He was part of the sniper team that had the longest shot.
Like
yes,
1.25 miles or something.
Yes. And actually that shot was at the end of that video. If you were watching it at the very end, that shot was there.
I'll replay it. No, I wasn't looking for it. I got to go back.
Well, I could play it one more time if you want to hear it again. we could do that one. All right.
I would love it.
All right. Dallas Alexander and Adios Amigo.
There we go.
There's a hotel window many floors above. What's missing down there is love. Thinking through the smoke that fills my mind. Don't worry, it's not my first time. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. It's all inside, heaven and hell. What happened to that angel when he fell? Give it just one try. Tell me you don't like it. Be God for a moment and don't despise it. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. Step outside and breathe. Play a little in the street. Hope it's not me they're sending. Move on from over there. Get the kids a little scared. Oh, these fences, they need mending. Adios, amigo.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
And we're back on the Teresa Round Show, and you're on Military Broadcast Radio, where we're giving veterans a voice. Did you see it that time?
Oh, phenomenal.
It was 2.2 miles. If you saw the little,
I saw that. Yeah, I was like, I thought it was 1.25, but not 2.2. Woo!
I know.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it was crazy. I interviewed him and he was talking about it, and I'm like, man. And he said that they don't really know who shot it because it was a team of two. So he was part of a sniper team, and then there was another set right beside him, and they were both aimed in the same direction, and they both shot at the same time. So they didn't actually know who had the actual shot, but it was the team that was up there in that window shooting out. So yeah, they weren't sure. So
yeah, there's a lot of words I could use there. Kudos to them.
Right? Yeah, I was like, wow, that's amazing. Like I
can't even see 2.2 miles, let alone shoot that far.
Right?
Wait till you get old.
So I was going to ask you, I know that you said that you kind of left corporate America to do Tech for Troops, that you were asked to come over there. And so what have you found since you've been in that organization? How has your life been impacted by being a part of Tech for Troops?
Oh man, that's a great question. I have found doing what I do. I used to, I don't want to say pride myself, wrong words, but I was more of a hard soul. And doing what I do, I'm a firm believer in God. That my soul has become a lot softer. I become not softer in a bad way, but I'm more empathetic and sympathetic to people because I do get a chance to talk to the men and women who come through, and I do hear stories. And it's sometimes their fault, other times not their fault, what happened to them and where they're at and their station in life. And having a vet, and I've had a couple come back to me and put the computer in my hands that I gave them a year prior, and they're like, I'm good. I'm making it now. So thank you so much for the leg up. I call that soul satisfying. It truly, I love every day getting up. It's stressful. Don't get me wrong. Running a business is stressful. It's very stressful. But I know that the impact we're having and the mission that I'm on is having an impact with my brothers and sisters, their families. Yes, today. What day is today? Wednesday? Tuesday. Today. I was supposed to have been down at Fort Lee, snow, so I didn't go. Giving 90 computers to active duty children at Fort Lee.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because it's the right thing to do. These are usually lower enlisted who can't afford a computer. The guy gets married, he has 3 kids right off, and they're like, I'm barely struggling, or I'm struggling, I'm barely making it.
Yeah.
We do that kind of thing because it's the right thing to do. I went to Kerrville, Texas today, or not today, in August after the floods, and I gave out 100 computers just because. So I'm much more empathetic and sympathetic. I'm much more aware of what's going on in the world in terms of people and how they're treated. And that doesn't make me a softie and say, yeah, we need to give more and give free to everybody. Not at all. But it helps me to understand what I'm doing, the impact I'm having, and it makes me work harder for my brothers and sisters, because there's a lot of need out there, but there's also a lot of greed out there.
Yeah.
And I want to make it the right way, not just because. And that's truly why Tech for Troops exists now, because it'd be very easy to fold. It's hard. Begging for computers is a hard thing to do. Begging for money is really, really, really hard. But
It is. Yeah.
I think the mission sells itself for the most part. I'd say come to our webpage. If anybody out there is listening, there's a video on the front with Jason and I. When you first walk in the door, we're laughing. We're saluting the flying drone, right, going through, and it takes a quick tour. But it gives an idea of what we do and how we do it. It's not the people, it's not the veterans, but it just shows you the scope of us and where we're at. And we're actually looking to buy a building or lease a different building because we need more space. So the need is there, the growth is there. We're going to make it. I plan on expanding to Nashville,
Oh, wow.
Dallas, Tampa, Raleigh, right? So the idea is to get us where we need to be in Richmond at this moment. And this is going into my 11th year. And a lot of it has been done by the skin of our, by bootstraps, pulling ourselves up by the bootstraps. Well, we're past that bootstrap part of our lives now, and we're going to start expanding. There's two other locations in Richmond or Virginia that I want to do, one in Northern Virginia where all the money is and all the computers are, and one at the Virginia Beach area where all the military is, the largest military base in the world there. So
Mm.
there, but then Raleigh and Tampa where SOCOM is, and Dallas Fort Worth where there's about 500 million veterans. And I know there's need there. San Antonio, 5 military bases, right? All those
Right.
places that I know that are need. Nashville being another one where there's a need. I did a write up or a PowerPoint for opening up in Nashville or in Tennessee, and 32% of the veterans in Tennessee are under-resourced. 32% meaning they're barely making it,
Yeah.
and that's unacceptable in my book. I mean, we have, and this bone sticks to my craw a lot, is that we get one day, Veterans Day, where there's others out there that get month, and that just sort of torques me because we're colorblind with what we do, and
Right.
we get a day, and that I think that needs to change.
Well, I think there's a lot of support now for veterans that there hasn't been in the past.
Yeah.
Like you said, we have one day to basically celebrate, but I think that kind of the tide's turning, and I'm not talking politics, but it seems like the current administration is very supportive of veterans and veteran services, and I think just the general public is as well. They hear the hardships and they hear the struggle
Hmm.
from veterans, coming back from being overseas and some of the things they have to deal with, and just challenges that they face, either because they were injured or just because of PTSD or
Yep.
traumatic brain injuries from an accident that happened over there. And so they're really, I think, getting the message that veterans need support,
Yeah.
basically.
I agree. As I said earlier, I don't want to give a handout, but I
Right.
want to give a hand up. Use that tool of a computer to better your life, better your family's life, because it's there for you. All you have to do is have the will to do it.
That's amazing, and I love hearing the success stories of that veteran coming
Oh,
back and saying, "Here,
it's
take
amazing.
this
Yeah.
laptop back and give it to somebody else because
Yep.
now I'm good. You gave me what I needed."
Literally, he walked in. It was giving class on a Saturday. It was me, and that's when I was doing the education as well. I literally I heard the door slam outside, and I'm like, Marine, and it's a bunch of vets. I'm like, oh, y'all stay here. I'm gonna go find out who this guy is, type of thing. And I walked out, and he's like this. He just put the computer up, and I saw the Tech for Troops sticker on. He's like, I'm here to get back, and I'm like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, I'm a Vietnam vet. And as soon as he said that, I'm like, be quiet. Come into my classroom and tell me exactly what you're and tell in front of everybody. He's holding up. He's like, yeah, I was a alcohol and drug addict. I got a computer. I cleaned up my life, and I'm giving back to my brothers and sisters. And I'm just bawling like, that's what it's about, y'all. That's what it's about. That's why I'm doing this job, is
Mhm.
because he cleaned up his life and did something with his life because of this tool. So I mean,
Mhm.
there's other stories like that that I just, it's soul satisfying.
Yeah, and the reason I asked you that question is because I can tell you have a heart for public service, and so when you join the military, you kind of foster that. It either works for you or in you
Yeah,
or it doesn't. And
yeah,
you find that very quickly that no, this isn't for me, or
right,
yes, this is, and then I want to continue serving. And so, within the military in general, I think we have a heart for service and
yeah,
service of others, which includes our brothers and sisters.
yep,
We serve the nation, obviously, but then in turn we serve our brothers and sisters in arms.
yep,
And what better resource could they have but have a battle
yep.
brother or a battle sister, whoever, helping them along the way, because we understand the struggle and we understand the challenges that they face, and so we're really the right ones for that mission, I think.
Absolutely agree. And when I got out of the Marine Corps, back then there was no internet, just straight up, no cell phones, no internet. So all of my brothers, we all disappeared,
Yeah.
and I call it twisting in the wind. I was not satisfied with my life. I love my wife, love my kids, right? I had the family life, I had the home life, but I was not settled here. And until I joined really back into the military community about a year before I joined Tech for Troops is when I fell back into that military family and just the familiarity of people who been through what I've been through. The yellow footprints on the Marine Corps and the purple footprints in the Air Force and those blue footprints in the Navy. I'm making a joke, y'all. So if there's Air Force here, I can go out the pink in the Army if you want me to, but I won't. Okay, I won't. Promise. But I mean, but we all have the same stories to tell, just different places for the most part and different MOSs. And when I started hearing those stories, I was like, I literally was just like, I'm home. I know what I've been missing for 30 some years because I didn't know it. And that's what you miss.
Yeah, you do. You miss a sense of community. I mean, when you're in the service, you know that somebody's got your back and you know you're sharing the same stories and the same struggles, basically. And when you get out of the service, like you said, you're just like, okay, now where's my people? I'm a little lost here because I don't find that community I had. And I think as veterans, we spend years and years looking for it. And then when we find it, we're like, yes, this is what we've been missing. This is where we need to be.
Whole time. I had no idea that the Marine Corps took a hold. I mean, I was only in for 4 years, but it took a hold of me in a way that I had no inkling. For 30 years, I got 87, and like 2012 or somewhere close into that is when I started coming back into it. So that's 25 years, and I had no idea that that's what I missed, is that camaraderie, that brotherhood, that being able to tell a joke and not worry about somebody being, mad at me because I said some joke that is funny. Right.
I definitely agree. Well, we have just a few minutes left. So is there anything you want to put out or say or tell us before we get off the air?
I do. There's two things. One, I would love to have your support, Tech for Troops, right? But if you don't support Tech for Troops, please support a nonprofit, right? It doesn't have to be veteran-centric, but every one of us, most of us, I should say, because there's some really good ones out there, and I'm not going to name names, and it's from civilian to military that are doing okay. But a lot of the smaller ones, such as Tech for Troops and others, need your help. Volunteer your time. Bring them blankets or woolies or woobies, whatever you want to call them, to help out for the homeless shelter. Going down to Kerrville and went to Ingram, Texas, gave out those computers. I saw the need for just cleanup. Volunteers to go down and pick up the trash from all the homes that got swept away and that kind of stuff. Give back, because you'll find that is where your heart truly lies. And once you find that, then you're home. I'm just going to say it that way.
You're so right. I mean, you get such satisfaction by helping others and giving them a leg up and really showing them, how they can do for themselves, because really it's not about doing for them. It's really about showing them how to do for themselves, because that's what makes a lasting change in their lives, is them actually doing it. And so they just need support in them doing it so that it'll make a change.
Yeah. And if you don't have two nickels to rub together, but you still have time that you can go help somebody, a nonprofit, pick up trash off the road, whatever that thing is, do it, right? You'll be led in a direction that you have no idea that you were heading in to begin with. And it might just change your life for the better. Probably will. I'll just say it that way. But when it hits you, you'll be like, really? I'm supposed to be here and cleaning up dog poop out of cages at the SPCA? And I love it. Right. And so give of yourself, because that's who we are.
That is who we are. Well, this is Tracer Round signing off. And Mark, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. I really appreciate the conversation, and I appreciate what you do. And we will definitely send people your way.
Thank you. Appreciate being on. Have yourself a great night, everybody.
Thank you, too.
All right. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.